All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday, May 30th, 12 p.m. I have Harry here with me, and Harry and I are going to discuss today what we saw happening in the market over the past week or so, how we've reacted to it. We also want to go into the higher time frame analysis of where we are in terms of context and structure of the market. And then both Harry and myself will discuss how we use the indicators to our benefit in the movement of the market down, and how we're still looking at the indicator, based on the price action that we've seen, if we're going to be able to find any short signals or long signals. So, yeah, with that being said, welcome, Harry.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me here, and good evening, everyone. So,
Yeah.
should I just share my screen or?
Yeah, let me just first start off and just
Yeah,
give a
perfect.
general overview of where we are, right? So
Yeah,
I think contextually, I mean, you know, any person can kind of look at this market structure and say it kind of looks pretty terrible. Whether you want to look at it from the daily, the weekly, the monthly, it all looks like crap, because what we effectively did was, whether you want to call it the Elon sell-off or whatever, point is, we were already kind of going sideways here for almost a good month or two, from the middle of February all the way to the point right here where we really, found exhaustion, and then we start to roll over. Okay. The first point of real significant weakness, I would believe, was found here, right around 51,500. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the indicators probably also pointed that out right around here as well. Now, after that, what we've seen is basically a destruction of all support levels on the way down, right? These are all the key levels that I've been watching, and none of them have been able to hold. In fact, the market has continuously told us that every single level is being tested as resistance, sells off, tested as resistance, sells off, once more resistance, and then starts to sell off some more. So contextually, where we are right now is the last point of support that we have in this area, I believe, right? And this is the last bit of support from this consolidation that we had back here in January, the big move up. Below this, there's really nothing else other than the previous all-time high, which is 20K. Okay. We can start marking out levels like, hey, this was a consolidation, and why isn't this a support? No, this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one. If you break that, you're basically going to wipe out a whole lot of people on the way down, because what effectively happens is, in a support range like this, if you don't bounce from here, that means all the buyers in this area right here, they will likely capitulate, or some of them will capitulate, and that might force a collapse down to about 20K. Now, do I think that's going to happen right now? I don't know. The chances are low, but the way BTC looks right now, I have no idea. It's really a gamble. I would say the best level that we need to get above and hold to give us an understanding that this is the low, and now we need to start moving away from it, is at least we need to get up here around 42, even better above 46. And then we can say, all right, we've made some progress away from the lows. Now let's look at the weekly real quick, right? Even the weekly really looks bad. You know very well that we followed the 21 EMA. Historically, it's been pretty spot on in the 2016, 2017 bull market up here. Every time we break below the 21 weekly EMA, we've had substantial corrections for several months. And so we're basically doing that right now. Now, we can always say, well, this time is different, institutions are here. Well, guess what? Institutions didn't hold us up above here. When the institution conversation started to come up, which was here, right? Guess what? We're back at the same point where the institutional conversation was starting. Okay, so what does that say? Well, maybe the institutions took profit up here, right? Because from a simple standpoint, they're basically up from this point onward, okay, a 2x or a 3x, depending on where institutions got in. Okay, so On a weekly basis, again, the important level to reclaim is 42 and even better above 46, 48, 50, right? The higher, the better. All right, because that would imply that we reclaim the 21 EMA, which we have not done so yet. And then finally, let's look at the monthly real quick, right? Even the monthly really does not look well at all. This was a previous hanging man on the April candle. We talked about this when this April closed. We said at best, this could be neutral. At worst, this could be a complete reversal. And so obviously this is a reversal candle. We've completely flushed basically 1, 2, 3, 4 months of previous upside movement that we had with 1 month, right? So what we need is, from a monthly basis, we need a substantial movement back towards 42 and even better above the mid-range between that Feb high and this January high. Okay, and that would imply, closing inside this hammer candle right here. But that's pretty far away. Maybe that happens in June, maybe it happens in July. We have no idea. Okay. So I'm going to now let Harry talk about the indicators and how he's reacted to it, what he's found helpful. So Harry, you can share your screen. All right, can everybody see his screen? It's actually blank right now. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I think I will just continue where you left. So I totally agree. On weekly, if you see the indicators, then we are just resting on the swing support. And if you check the previous cycle, here also we got one test, one small bounce, and then one eventually when we break, then officially our bear market started from here, you can say. And right now we are just sitting on that level. We barely got one bounce, and if you put this 21 EMA, then I think we got that retest also on this chart. So here we did not came exactly to the 21 weekly EMA, but we already had some weeks here and there. So I think we can consider this as a successful retest and rejection. So yeah, I do think this is like not a very good chart in itself. Then if you check the trend maker,
just add on to that, that's a really good point, Harry, because we often think that retests have to be exact pinpoint.
Yeah.
But they really don't, because sometimes if the retest can't even happen, it actually speaks on behalf of how bearish things actually are. So
yeah, exactly. So most of these levels, they can get front run, what we refer it as. So I think this we can consider as a successful retest and rejection from that level. At least for me, I can consider that.
Good point.
If you see this trend maker on weekly, once again, we are sitting in the ribbon. We did got bounce from that, but you can see the bounce is not very strong. It's not holding up. So we have to see how this candle closes in like next 7-8 hours, and then we can move forward. But I think this order block, what we had, this 2 red candle order block, we are just ranging between this level for next couple of weeks if we don't break below immediately. And as I said, from based on swing, if Bitcoin breaks this level, then as Amol mentioned, the next level is around 18,000, or our next all-time high around 20,000. So this line will keep on moving. So I think this 20K level should be a very good target for everybody. Other than that, I also posted this in the Discord. There is this big CME gap on daily. So I think this is a very, very good target to put some spot orders. At least I did that. So this is not a financial advice in any way, but I do have some of my spot orders sitting in this area because this is a really a big gap. Other than that, on daily, then we got some very nice trades. If you have followed some of my updates in the Discord, you know, I have been short from around 62,300. So pretty much we shorted the top here, and I already closed out almost 70% of that position in around this 50K area, because I did not expected that this will happen. So the whatever minimum position I have, I still have that position open. And other than that, I'm using my other accounts and I'm just playing some scalps here and there. So today we got a really nice play from this swing and a catch, which I posted yesterday, that Bitcoin has been holding this level, this aqua line. And then the how we play this indicator basically is you get this rejection from this red ribbon, which is your swing, and then the price get caught between this aqua line. So this I referred as a swing and a catch play. And then this aqua line is where you set up your long orders. Here again, you can see we did not got the exact test. It did not come exactly to the dollar level, but again, we had some of these wicks here. So I just used this wicks to set up my orders. So in the close proximity of this aqua line. And yeah, so I'm still holding on that trade.
So Harry, just as out of curiosity, I'm sure some of our members are wondering, when you see on a daily and weekly basis, which are higher time frames showing that there's pretty strong weakness in the chart, how do you reconcile going into a 4-hour long trade? And I mean, how do you deal with, okay, we know the daily and the weekly is bearish, then how do you take targets based on this long position?
So this I entered it as a scalp trade, so I don't want to hold it for a very long time. I just want to play this area. So this in itself is like a 8 to 10%. It was, I think I have entry around 33,900, and if we take from here to the ribbon, it's almost 9% move. So I'm just playing this much area. With the bearish scenario we have, we definitely don't want to hold any longs for a long time. You just want to get in, get your money and get out.
Yeah, good point.
So until we see any confirmed signs on daily that the trend is reversing, which is nowhere near, because on daily we need to break this red trend maker ribbon so that we can assume that trend has been reversing and it is now bullish. So like what happened here? So here you can see we kept trading between, like, under the ribbon, and finally when it broke above, this was the point where finally our trend was reversed. So something like this to happen now, it will take easily at least month or two, because we are so far away from the price action.
Yeah, that's also a really good point, and something that Austin and myself had mentioned, which is I think we need a longer consolidation.
Yeah,
it's okay to spend time at the lows if we can just move sideways for a while,
Yeah.
But if we start showing weakness again, BTC and probably most of the altcoin market is probably going to get obliterated. Next, whenever you're done, I definitely want to talk more about altcoins, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So on 3-day, I was paying attention to this first red candle what we had. So this was our first order block. I don't know if you guys use this order block things. But in short, what we are looking for is we look for a rally, and after a rally, you want to look for a consolidation candle. So in this case, you had this very nice rally, and you had this first red candle, which indicates your consolidation period. So this becomes your order block. So now I think Bitcoin will keep trading between this range, which is from 40,400 to 34. So I think we might have some action here, and you can also see 3-day ribbon is coming in the top area. So we might get one quick retest, then rejection, and then we can tap this green moving average. So something like that. So yeah, this consolidation could be pretty long unless we immediately break down. So prepare yourself for a long, boring Bitcoin movement.
Yeah, yeah, and that I probably would expect the same too. What are your thoughts on some altcoins? You know, because
Yeah.
from a higher time frame perspective,
Mhm.
altcoins look as bad as Bitcoin, if not worse.
Some are looking pretty bad, but I just want to make the one thing clear. So during this dump, if you guys again followed my updates, I started buying on this dump, and that I did because I just want to show you how I use those indicators. So here on this day when we started dropping, I saw that trend maker was coming into this, trend maker was giving support in this area. And at the same time, we also had 4-hour whale volume support here. So this was the main reason why I started putting those spot buy orders. So I bought not only Bitcoin, but a lot of altcoin as well on that day particularly. So this is how I used this indicator in the combination. So here I used 4-hour and 1-day combination.
You guys hear me?
Hello, yeah.
Okay. Can you guys hear myself and Harry? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, continue.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to show you how I use this our time frame combination, which I think still some people who are using this indicator have some questions about that. So yeah, definitely try to use this indicator in these time frame combinations, and then you will get this support confluence or the resistance confluence. So like here, if you wanted to short, you can see that on 4-hour Bitcoin was coming into this red ribbon area, which we can expect should be a resistance. And at the same time, daily was also coming into this pink moving average. So this could have been a easy short entry if you are using these two time frame in combination. If you are using alone a single time frame, then you might get confused. But if you have two and the confluence of the support or resistance level, then it becomes much easier, or at least a bit safer.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Then coming to the indicator, so on Ethereum, you can already see we had a very nice bounce where I sold my spot positions and we got another rejection from this level. So Ethereum chart compared to Bitcoin chart, I think is looking a bit okayish because Ethereum had a very strong fundamental behind it. I think Litecoin was pretty bad. So Litecoin was kind of bad. Other than that, some of the altcoin like Matic was one of our favorite to trade. But Matic did a good job. It had a very strong bounce again from this white level. So once again, if you wanted to buy the spot Matic here, which I again posted in the Discord, this was the confluence. We had this white moving average, and at the same time, we had this daily red trend maker ribbon support. So this was an easy spot entry for you from these two time frames. Any other coins you want me to look at? Particularly?
Yeah. Are there any questions from people in the chat?
Everything good so far. Okay. So let's go to the Shepherd then. So on Bitcoin,
Harry,
I just wanted, yeah.
Harry, there's a question about Rune.
Okay. I had it somewhere here. Yeah. So Rune, yeah. You can see my alert is here. I was expecting it to come to this area, but I just missed my entry by few cents there. Yeah. But yeah, Rune, I think it's exactly like Ethereum. It had a very good bounce. It is resting on this moving average now. And I think we might get one more move to the upside, at least to test this support area here, and then we'll see how it goes. From the lower time frame, we are already breaking below the trend maker ribbon, but once again, as you can see, if you get this rejection from this ribbon, and if rune comes to this aqua line, this is where you can put some of your spot orders and try to play this move from aqua line to the ribbon again, which is a swing and a catch play again. If I want to show you the example, so something like this. So this is what I refer as a swing and a catch. In this case, it was on the opposite side. So here we got bounce from the ribbon, but price got caught between this aqua line and it got rejected back to the ribbon. So you can play this much area, quick in and out kind of trade. Not quick, it's like 6 4-hour candles, but yeah.
So there's a few questions in the chat, Harry.
Yeah.
Why would you use the 3-day as to say the daily? Is there a difference to the setup?
Yeah, so it is just what I found from my own analysis, that 3-day order blocks, they held much more significance than the daily order blocks. So if I can show you maybe a couple of examples. 3 days. So here you can see, if you go very back, so here we had a very nice move, and then we had this big red candle. So I don't use the wicks because those are just liquidation events or stop hunts, but I'm more interested in the candle body on this when I try to find the order blocks. So this area now becomes my area of interest. And if I can just label this. And so once you identify, okay, this is the key area, this is the consolidation area, this is my order block. And then now you can see how price action plays with this order block. It came here, bounced, came here, traded in between, once again bounced, got support from this, broke down, came back up, resistance, broke above, support, and bounce, and so on. So that's why I just find this 3-day order blocks particularly lot more respected in the BTC terms. Another example would be this order block here. So this first red candle. So as soon as this candle is closed, I mark these levels, and then you just pay attention what is happening. So price is coming from below, resistance, resistance. And here again, you can see how good this order block has been here, a resistance. And once it broke up, we got like 2 candles holding support on this area, and then it bounced and so on. So here, that's why I thought I'm expecting this area, which is our current order block Bitcoin is in, this red candle. I think we will have some snaky price action in this area, like something like this. And if it breaks down, then we can just wait for it to come up, maybe ladder some short positions here and wait for breakdown. Or we can have something like this, it breaks up and then we wait for it to get support and try to long this area. So that's how we can play these order blocks. So other than 3-day, I also use weekly order blocks, the exact same scenario. You want to find a big rally and your first consolidation candle. So in this case, we had again the same 2 red candles as our order blocks on weekly. But yeah, I think 3-day are really, really good for Bitcoin.
Perfect. So just FYI, I will post my chart of the CME gaps. I think I'd done it already in a video, but I think Harry has also posted it. I'll also post the chart with the CME gaps. We actually have one above us and one below us.
Yeah. I think the one which we have above, it's already filled. That's why actually I entered that short. If you,
It's filled already. I thought it was at like
yeah,
44, 46.
I already had this one marked. So I posted this one in the Discord, and on this candle when we had this week.
Oh, no, no, I'm not talking about that one. Just the one below. Just the one below.
Oh,
Yep.
this one you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. 44,
Yeah,
46K, whatever it was.
yeah, true. Yeah, this
And
one is
then
still there.
Harry, can you yeah, mark that out as a gap and then yeah, zoom out and show us the one we have below. There you go.
Something this. So this one is done already. So we have these two gaps now. And CME, I know that there is another gap here, but that's like a question. So it's around that 18K area, where we also have the weekly swing support coming in. But yeah, I'm paying more attention to this gap than this gap.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if there's any other questions. One of the questions from Legic is if BTC consolidates, could alts rally again?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
I
don't think
mean,
so
we
either.
had such a big damage to the charts. I really doubt that will happen. I mean, we can still expect some sideways move, and with alts which have lower market caps, I don't think we will get a rally. You can get small bounces here and there, but rally, I don't think so.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm kind of in agreement with Harry here. I mean, we had literally one of the largest expansions of altcoins that we've had in a single year, basically almost as good as the 2017 rally. I think what's happened is we've kind of gotten used to it. And, frankly put, like, I think most people are just greedy, right? We just want altcoins to just go up forever. And that's really not the case because a lot of them did go up quite a bit. And so even from the technical standpoint and just, basic market structure, we can say that Bitcoin dominance is at pretty severe lows,
Yeah.
And so if it's bouncing off the lows and BTC is already looking weak, if Bitcoin even sneezes, altcoins are just going to completely just get annihilated. If BTC goes up, altcoins are probably still going to get left behind. So it's like there's a lose-lose situation for alts right now. And I don't know when that will be repaired. The only argument you can make is, once again, you could say, this time is different because there's institutions buying altcoins or whatever, but not that I buy that a whole lot. But the point is, you're basically really picking at straws here to really pray and hope that altcoins are going to go up, when in fact, most of the market is really telling you that altcoins are probably going to be sideways or going down for a little while.
Yeah. And this, just one more thing to add about this institution. I mean, we had a lot of hype during this pump that, hey, Musk has invested, some else has invested, but those guys are in this asset not for the fundamentals of this asset. They are here to make money, at least most of them. They don't care if Bitcoin survives or it dies in next couple of years.
Yeah, 100%
So
believe that.
if they make, like, if they invested, let's say 20K, they got 60K out, they are done.
Yeah.
They don't care if Bitcoin goes to zero tomorrow.
Yeah. And I think the other thing Austin and I also discussed is, when you have money coming from a company, especially corporate treasuries, you have different mandates from your company, right? If they see that your stock is going down and you have some liquid assets like Bitcoin, which are really weighing down your balance sheet, well, then your shareholders are effectively going to tell you, like, hey, either you get rid of this shit or we'll fire you and we'll start dumping our stock.
Exactly.
There's all kinds of mandates like this that are out there. And I think this is why I'm really, really paranoid that Michael Saylor and Elon Musk are both involved in BTC, because now you know for sure that together they own what, $3 to $4 billion worth of Bitcoin. should a time ever come, say in the stock market where their stock is pressured, if they're forced to sell, like those are two big apes in the market that will have to sell literally, at the market some way, somehow.
True. And I mean, if you see the Tesla chart, it's also not looking that pretty now.
Yeah.
It's also has broken some support. It definitely has this, what you can say, a bearish triangle pattern with this resistance line here and support here. So yeah, we just have to wait and see how this moves. I mean, we might get one more test here, and then maybe it will start breaking down. Right. And you can see I also had this 3-day SR levels plotted for Tesla, and they have been doing their job.
Yeah, solid
They had
work.
a nice resistance here. They had nice resistance here.
We have a couple of questions. DBX says, why would that gap below be so significant if it was a long time ago? I mean, I think gaps are, I don't know, they're generally significant. Even if it's in like the same, 6-month, 1-year time span. Beyond that, then I understand it may not be that significant, but that wasn't really that long ago.
Yeah, it was like in December.
Yeah.
But I mean, why these gaps are getting filled is completely different question. If
Yeah.
they have to get filled or not, that's another point of debate. But I was just paying attention because this is a big gap, and it's like from 23.9, let's say 24 to 26, it's like $2,000 gap. That's why I'm paying more attention to this area. And also, as I mentioned, this area coincides with our some of our different support lines. Like if you see the 3-day swing, it's coming into this area, so next support. So that's why I'm just paying more attention to this gap.
Perfect. Vishal is asking, Harry, do you think it's time to be overall net short in alts?
Across the board, maybe not, because some altcoins, they do have pretty strong fundamentals, but some altcoins, they are pretty much now in the shitcoin category. So you can take some positions on those. But yeah, which one? I'm not exactly sure.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, listen, I want to give more benefit of the doubt to the market, but the point is, like, the altcoin cycles generally play out the same in that, when BTC goes down, and especially when we're about to head into a bear market, which it seems like we're basically in a bear market or we're going to head into a bear market. I don't know how long, I don't know how it's going to pan out, if it's going to be like 2017 or what. But the point is, we're already at the point where we're basically in a bear market, right? For the most part, it doesn't really matter which alts you're in. They all generally tend to go down. It doesn't matter, historically how strong your fundamentals are. And again, we can make the argument that this time is different. And this is why, say, Solana and Ethereum and Sushi Swap, these are actual revenue generating assets, and they're in the DeFi space, and they could be better than 90% of the other garbage. But the way I've recognized the way money flow, moves, it's really the same across the board, right? If BTC is going up, most of the market will benefit. If BTC is starting to go down, most of the market is going to start to go down.
Yeah, exactly. So like, for example, coins like Solana, they have completely different use case. They have different fundamentals. So in this case, we can see there is nice support coming in with this Fibonacci golden pocket. And we just have to see what it does after that. Maybe Bitcoin will drop, but Solana can start its rally again or start to move up again, because it's made for completely different purposes.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think it's this is something that we spoke about, right? For me, right now, thinking about going long or opening positions right now is only a level to level play,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
For me, the best way to look at it is, where Harry has his 38.2, 35 fib right there on Solana.
Yeah.
If Solana can get up, smash above that level and hold, then okay, fine. Solana is showing strength, and that means I'd probably be targeting, previous all-time high. But if it doesn't, and say it wicks into that area and it starts to roll over again, personally, I would sell my position and I would probably go short right there, because that's probably just taking some short stops and it's going to roll over pretty hard with the rest of the market.
Yeah. And you can see with that ship area, we also have our trend maker daily ribbon coming in pretty much exactly in that area as well. So we can have one small bounce and then maybe it can start rejecting from there. But yeah, just to briefly answer the question, should you be short on all the altcoins? No, because they are made for different use cases. But some coins which are maybe like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, they're made for transaction, maybe you can. But these DeFi coins or the smart contract tokens, they have different fundamentals and they can move differently than Bitcoin.
So by the way, while I have you guys on the call, I decided to take a long position in BTC in the 5K count, and I'm going to have Harry sort of run through his indicator and what it's saying. So Harry, if you just pull up the Discord Bitcoin chat real quick, if you have it.
Yeah.
And in that, what I've done is, I mentioned that retest right there, right? That's where I was hoping to go long anyway, because it's a retest of the pivot, retest of the area that I was looking at, which is the weekly open, that general area right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going long right there with the stop basically just below the pivot. All right, so around 35K. Now, what is the indicator at present moment showing you? Because I didn't take a look at the indicator at all, but now I'm curious if...
Okay, so like I said, I was long from yesterday from this swing and catch play. I'm still holding, but I will not add into this long until I see break of this 4-hour trend maker ribbon.
Okay.
And I need to see this ribbon broke and held to maybe make the next play until this area around 43.5 area, which is also our this support.
Okay, interesting.
But yeah, I will not add into that long just now.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm actually targeting the high from yesterday's candle, which it seems like it happens to be around 37,300, which is right around that red ribbon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That you mentioned. So my target is basically the same, except I think you just have a better entry than me, and I'm just now taking a level to level play.
Yeah. So when I took this trade, my thinking was if Bitcoin does not hold this level, then it can hold this level, the whale volume. So I was prepared to enter my laddered position into this area, but luckily I got first entry here and it started to bounce back up. Otherwise, I was prepared to enter into this order block, this block.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, to add into that long, I will have to see break of this ribbon, and then we can see.
Perfect. All right, we got two more questions. Chaos says, question to both of you. Like Tesla looking like it's topped out, are you seeing a cycle change in the wide markets? Are you seeing any signs of capital flight into other specific sectors like safe haven assets like gold, silver, or bonds?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a really nice question. And I do want to put this gold chart here and you can see how well this is going. I mean, it came down, it bounced from this ribbon on the shorter time frame. Usually for gold, I use 2-day charts. Yeah, so here, gold has been doing pretty good. And I just posted in other group a couple of days back. I was looking at gold with this huge cup and handle pattern.
Yeah.
And the target for this pattern, I think I have it wrong. No, it's not it. But yeah, I was looking at that. So we had this previous all-time high on the gold, and currently it is resting just below that resistance. So if it starts breaking above this area, then we can expect next move till our recent all-time high. And if this is broken, then we can expect the full move from this cup and handle will be initiated, which takes it around 27, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty bullish on gold, that is for sure.
And I think same goes for silver. So to answer your question, Chaos, I mean, one of the things that we're definitely seeing in the broader markets is a lot of big traders are starting to talk about precious metals. They've been doing really well. Part of that probably has to do with, like, inflation scare, currency debasement, maybe, I don't know, some sort of hedge against equities, right? And then, of course, bonds have been going up too. So that's also, basically a hedge on potential inflation rise that's coming up. So it's things like that that we're already seeing in the market, right? I think the last month or two, we also saw commodities like lumber really take off. Corn was taking off. Lean hogs. I don't know if you guys pay attention to that kind of stuff, but all that stuff was really just taking off. Hog futures, lumber, corn, and that stuff doesn't take off unless, like, there are supply chain issues or a sign of economic damage or inflation. So
Yeah,
it's just been interesting to kind of watch those rotations.
true.
So final. Oh, sorry about that. We just have one more question.
Yeah.
Mo is asking, how do you think the $6 trillion stimulus package is going to affect crypto? I don't know if Harry's not from the US. So
No, but if I'm to make a guess, I think that 6 trillion, most of it might go in the traditional markets than in crypto, because crypto, as of now, they are high risk asset. They always have been high risk asset, but now with this damage on the charts, I don't think anybody will be willing to put a lot of money in those right now.
Yeah, I would say right now, not so much. I think my thought process is that, what Austin and I discussed was, for the most part, we still see tech and growth as a decent play, at least a good risk to reward play in 2021, if not 2022. And as long as interest rates are low, as long as the Fed is pumping out money, at some point, we do expect the markets in crypto to bounce or continue on their bullish trend. But right now, obviously, like, I can't make that judgment, By the way, it is outlined within the $6 trillion package that it's supposed to be an economic revival package, more so for infrastructure, more so for damaged industries. So this is not like everybody gets a stimmy check and we all put it into the stock market and play the huge casino. I think the conditions are a little bit different this time around.
Yeah.
So yeah. Are there any other questions or anything else you want to mention, Harry?
No, not other than that, no.
So what I am seeing, though, one other thing, just one last thing, is on the daily, if the daily closes as is, I believe that we've done a decent amount of cleanup at the lows, and I'm hoping if we do get a bounce and the daily closes as is, these look like tweezer bottoms to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is across the board, like for ETH, for Matic, I think Rune, Solana, Bitcoin. I mean, I think they all pretty much are looking the same. And so, not to say that, tweezer bottoms are going to reverse the trend or anything. Like I said, my levered position, I'm probably looking right around that 37K area. Beyond that, we'll see. I still have spot BTC that I told you all about in the 5K count position. And I'm hoping at some point that gets us towards 40, 42K. If not, if I don't see strength, I'll exit that and just enter cash and just sit tight, and only have level to level plays.
Yeah. I think that's the best strategy for now. Just mark your levels and play those levels. And once you start to see trend change on some higher time frames, like let's say 12-hour or daily, then we can start planning for next leg in the bull cycle, if that is going to happen.
Yeah,
So,
good point.
yeah.
Perfect.
Just maybe one small last thing, we will close our monthly tomorrow. And yeah, this is not a very good looking monthly in any way. So just pay attention to this one also, how we will close this.
All right. Okay, folks, I think that's pretty much all I have and all Harry has. Any last questions that we can answer? Final thoughts, final questions? All right, well, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Harry, for joining.
No problem. Happy to
And
be here.
yeah, we're hoping to do more of these, whenever Harry and myself get time. So I promise we'll try to do more whenever we do get time. All right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining. All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.